For over 70 years, the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Marin has worked to inspire joy and justice in an imperfect world, sharing life's journey, celebrating many paths, and acting to make a difference. UU Marin celebrates people from all walks of life. No matter how you make your living or how you experience the sacred, no matter who you are, where you're from, or who you love, you are welcome here. If you're seeking open-hearted community, a place where you can have a real day-to-day impact in the world, and a space for the whole family to grow spiritually, come check out the church at the top of the hill. Come join UU Marin.
Once upon a time, there was a great famine. That means that there's not enough food to go around. The people in one small village didn't have enough to eat, and definitely not enough to store away for the winter. People were afraid that their families would go hungry, so they hid the small amounts of food that they did have. They even hid their food from their friends and their neighbors. One day, a wandering migrant came into the village. She asked the different people she met about finding a place to eat and sleep for the night. "There's not a bite to eat in the whole county," they told her. "You'd better keep moving on." "Oh, I have everything I need," she said. "In fact, I would like to make some stone soup to share with all of you." So she pulled a big silver cooking pot from her wagon. She filled it with water and built a fire under it. Then she reached slowly into her knapsack, and while several villagers watched, she pulled a plain gray stone from a cloth bag and dropped it into the water. By now, having heard about this magic stone that could make soup, most of the villagers were surrounding the migrant and her cooking pot. As the migrant sniffed the stone soup and licked her lips, the villagers began to overcome their lack of trust. She said to herself, "I do like a tasty stone soup. Of course, stone soup with cabbage is even better." Is there someone who has cabbage on their table? A villager ran from her house into the village square holding up a cabbage. "I have this cabbage from my garden," she said as she held it out for the migrant. "Fantastic," she cried. She cut up the cabbage and added it to her pot. "You know," she said, "I once had stone soup with cabbage and a bit of beef, and it was delicious." The butcher thought that he might have some beef scraps lying around. Does someone have a cow on their table? Yes, Dove, bring me our scraps. Can you show everyone our beef scraps? It's a lot of scraps. But the butcher ran back to his shop, and other villagers offered bits of vegetables from their own gardens. If you hear the vegetable on your table and you're a young or young at heart person, feel free to bring it up right now. They found potatoes, onions, carrots, celery, some canned tomatoes from the back of the cupboard. We've all got some. Well, the soup, and they all put it into the big pot of soup. And with each ingredient, there were smiles and laughter. People were excited to smell the soup wafting from the pot, like I'm smelling soup wafting from the kitchen. It's making me hungry. I hope you all brought an appetite.
Need a bigger pot.
I know. Oh, we have too much soup for our pot. See what happens when we all dig deep and look in our cupboards and our gardens. Soon enough, the big silver pot was bubbling and steaming and overflowing. And when the soup was ready, everyone in the village ate a bowl of soup, and it was delicious. The villagers offered the migrant woman money and other treasures for the magic stone, but she refused to sell it. She had many offers for a cot to sleep on that night, and she did take that. The next day, she traveled on her way.
So you probably know this song, and we would love for you to join in, because we've only sung it together one or two times. So we'd love for you to join us. Thank you for being a friend. Travel down the road and back again. Your heart is true, you're a pal and a confidant. I'm not ashamed to say, I hope it always will stay this way.
The story of the wandering migrant and the villagers offers an insightful lens into scarcity mindset and how it can be transformed into abundance through trust and collaboration. Cabbage alone is just cabbage, but together with carrots, beef, and a spirit of cooperation, it becomes something delightful and nourishing, stone soup. Thanksgiving might be fraught this year with uncomfortable conversations and temptation to self-medicate with overeating and drink. And we might have to tune out the offensive and the untrue, because those aspects of our divided culture are snares and traps that we can avoid if we understand the holiness of the threads that weave us all together. What if all of us who are part of this congregation, who hold worth, dignity, joy, justice, and love as sacred, what if we did everything in our spiritual power to make this the most special Thanksgiving yet? This Thanksgiving, we can draw inspiration from our story. At first, one might think that the migrant cunningly convinced the villagers to contribute all the ingredients for the soup, or that she tricked them. It's true that she entered the town with nothing but a pot and a stone, lacking food and shelter, or even a place to call home. However, what she truly brought was a lesson that transcended material possessions, a way to unlock the abundance hidden within the community's heart. The villagers appeared selfish and hoarding, but their actions were driven by a deep-rooted fear of scarcity. They each clung to their small reserves of food, afraid that sharing would leave them with nothing. But the migrants' proposal gently nudged them to realize the power and beauty of collective sharing. When I finally learned about the Pilgrims and the Wampanoag and what really happened, I had to undertake a revision of what the heart of Thanksgiving was to me. That it wasn't the beautiful coming together I was told it was as a child. It was actually the beginning of the end of a sacred way of life for the indigenous peoples of this country. In 1863, the same year as the Emancipation Proclamation, a cause for celebration, it was also sadly the deadliest year of the Civil War. As a way to try and repair the country, to give people a day to share, to be grateful, to hope, Lincoln made Thanksgiving a national holiday. During this time of division and fear, the impulse to isolate and protect ourselves is strong. Love and empathy are the essential ingredients we can bring to any gathering. By choosing to listen more than we speak and give more than we take, we make a way for understanding and connection. I invite you to take one of these stones to serve as a symbol as you gather this holiday season. Let it remind you of the power within you to be the rock that community can be built on, to be the foundation of unity and kindness. When things get challenging, remember that the stone signifies a connection that binds us all, a connection that, when embraced, turns scarcity into abundance, fear into community, and strangers into siblings. Love and light to all.